When you don't need an answer, there'll be days like this. When you don't need a chance, there'll be days like this. When you don't get the trade by that old Judas kiss. And I must remember, there'll be days like this.
Okay, time to reveal your number one, your favourite horse that you have ridden of all time.
My number one is Synchronised.
Synchronised is still finishing, you know, and McCoy sends his victory. They're at the last. Long run the giant bolster, but here is Synchronised. He's been beautifully produced. Synchronised on the outside, just in front from the giant bolster and long run, and Synchronised is going to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup, landing a massive gamble for Tony McCoy. Quite simply, the best ride I've seen a jockey ever give a horse. That was unbelievable.
Synchronised is my number one for a lot of reasons. First and foremostly because he won the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and the Cheltenham Gold Cup is the pinnacle of our sport. It is, if you're an owner, a trainer, a jockey, everyone wants to buy a horse, train a horse or ride a horse that's going to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. With Synchronised, I was very lucky that Synchronised's mother was called Myasta, and the first time I ever rode a winner for JP McManus was on Myasta at Punchestown Festival in 1996. However many years later, 17 years later, I got to ride Synchronised in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and was lucky enough to win it on him. But before that, he was a horse that had progressed through the ranks. He'd won the Welsh Grand National with a big weight, and he didn't look like a jumper, and he didn't really jump like a jumper. But what Synchronised had was a great will to win, and you know, a lot of people said about how slow Synchronised was. He actually was slow, but it was more a case of it took you a very long time to get him warmed up. He was the sort of horse that could have ran faster if you could have warmed him up for 2 miles beforehand. He would have ran his second 2 miles faster than his first 2 miles, no matter what day of the week you started him off, his second 2 miles. So he just took a little bit of time to get warmed up and get in that rhythm. Got a little bit behind in the Gold Cup, you know, obviously not too far, but further back than you would have liked. And I can remember John Joe explaining to people that were in the box watching at the time, he said they were all asking how come he's so far back, he's too far back, why is he there? And you know, and John Joe, knowing the horse, and you know, was telling them to calm down. This is what he was saying that, oh, he's close enough, you don't realise this horse, as long as he's close enough he'll finish better than anything else. And sure enough, at no stage really in the Gold Cup did he ever really look like he was going to win, until sort of after jumping the second last. For the 3 miles of the Gold Cup, he was the most unlikely winner.
But you weren't feeling that? No,
I wasn't feeling that, and John Joe wasn't feeling it either, because you know the horse, you know that the way he finishes, and you know that if he's there at the finish, he'll give us all, you know. And when he came around the bend to go to 2 out, he still had sort of 6 or 8 lengths to make up, but it was at the first time in the race that you think, yeah, he's close enough, and he could win. And sure enough, he, you know, got the challenge between the second last and the last, and you know when he's going to meet the rising ground or the famous Cheltenham Hill, that nothing's going to climb it faster than him. And he wouldn't have been the best horse that I ever rode, but for personal reasons, for in my head and my heart, you know, Synchronised, I think, give me the greatest day in racing. You know, it was the most fulfilling day that I've ever had in racing. As I said, I'd won in his mum 17 years earlier, and JP spent his whole life trying to buy a Gold Cup horse, and his wife bred one for him, which he never thought he'd probably do.
For you, the Gold Cup is the Premier League, and the Grand National is the FA Cup. Is that a fair analogy?
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah. So for you, the pro, being in the business, you want to win the Gold Cup.
And as I said, as an owner, a trainer, a jockey, the majority of racing people will say, I'd love to own a horse that could win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Yeah.
But when you don't need an answer, there'll be days like this. When you don't need a chance, there'll be days like this. When you don't get the trade by that old Judas kiss. And I must remember, there'll be days like